how to hack your time management. For women only. No, not for women only. Created by Dana Sofia Shlantsarova, the world's leading expert in the area of women's cycles and cyclic time management. If you are a woman or a person who menstruates, you may have noticed that there are days when everything is just perfect. You are so fast, so efficient, so smart, so confident, and self-confident. Nothing is a problem. No job, no task that you have been assigned. There's literally nothing that would be a challenge for you. And then there are other days. On those days, you feel so beautiful, so feminine, so full of love and empathy, so caring. All you want to do is to be with people, talk, enjoy life, and make love. And then there are different days. On those days, the world may seem a bit dark, your tasks feel overwhelming, you feel tired and exhausted, people and things upset you easily, and you are frustrated and highly critical and self-critical. And finally, there are days when it is a complete disaster. You are so tired, so exhausted. You do not want to see anybody. You do not want to do anything, just sleep. And you feel slow, awkward, and stupid. Well, the truth is, there is a pattern to all those changes. All these days can be predicted like clockwork. But wait a minute. Men and other people around you, such as your family, your kids, your colleagues, or even customers, may have noticed it too. They know there are days when it's so easy to communicate with you because you are straightforward and rational. At other times, it's great to spend time with you because you are so loving, so kind, and so supportive. And then there are those days when it's extremely difficult to talk to you because you quarrel all the time and are highly emotional. And finally, there are days when it's better to leave you alone because you are tired and want to rest. The good news is all of this can be predicted too. The pattern is simple, yet it may be difficult to spot and discern. Why? Because the period of the repetition of this pattern is quite long so that we could recognize it as a repetition. It is roughly 28 days. Are you getting it now? The 28-day period equals period. Or to be more precise, not only the period, I mean the time of bleeding, but your whole menstrual cycle. The changes that you go through in your everyday life are connected to the changes of your female hormones. Unfortunately, we were never told that the hormones are responsible not only for the ripening of the egg and later for the menstrual bleeding, but basically for everything in your life. And when I say everything, I really mean everything, be it your bodily functions, your feelings, your energy levels, or the way you think, or the way you work, or the way you communicate with people. And last but not least, the hormones have also an impact on your cravings or your sexual appetite, as well as the way you drive. Just as I said, the hormones influence, in short, everything in your life. However, there are distinct patterns to these changes that repeat every 28 days or so. It depends on the length of your individual hormonal cycle. And thus, you can observe 4 different phases that you go through during your month. How can you recognize the phases? Well, it's easy. I'll give you a mnemonic device. The phases are like the seasons: spring, summer, fall, and winter. Or they can also be connected to the times of the day: morning, noon and afternoon, evening, and night. Let's look at them in greater detail. They are the dynamic phase, that is like spring; the ovulation phase, that is like summer; the premenstrual phase, that is like fall; and the menstrual phase, that resembles winter. All of these phases have great advantages that you can use in both your work and personal life. The dynamic, or from the biological point of view, the pre-ovulation phase, that is like spring, is great for beginning new projects and new tasks, doing tasks that require clear, rational, analytical thinking, learning whatever you need to learn, analyzing and planning. For example, planning your month, working hard, being fast, efficient, and productive, working alone, accepting challenges of whatever kind, because at this time of the month you simply love challenges, going running or for a walk, working out, exercising, finishing everything unfinished and undone in the menstrual phase. The ovulation phase, that comes right after the dynamic phase and is like summer, is great for taking care of your projects, your customers, your colleagues, as well as your family members and also yourself. Doing tasks that require empathy and patience, caring for others, communicating with them, being with people, being happy, kind, and optimistic, always in a great mood. Working in a team, unlike in the dynamic phase, when you were a solo player. Solving problems and disputes of whatever kind, both at work and at home. And last but not least, enjoying life and sex too. The premenstrual, also called creative phase, that is like fall, is great for finishing your tasks and projects, being incredibly creative and coming up with out-of-the-box solutions and great ideas, being great at focusing on whatever you do, tidying and cleaning your workspace or the whole household, tapping into your intuition, seeing what is wrong, working hard, but less than in the dynamic phase because you have less energy now. And finally, the fourth, menstrual phase, that resembles winter, is great for taking care of yourself, getting rest and more sleep, and recharging your body's batteries, seeing the very core of things and observing what is right for you as well as what's the best for your projects, being alone, being highly intuitive, and being really efficient in your work because you know what is important and you do not spend time doing more than is necessary because you conserve your energy. The phases, however, have some downsides too. In the dynamic phase, you should watch for working too hard and not spending time with your family, being impatient, not being a team player, having less empathy, being too much in your head, cooking, tidying, and nurturing less than usual, prioritizing work over people, being less romantic, and sometimes driving fast. In the ovulation phase, you should watch for being more passive than in the dynamic phase, working less and talking more, being more emotional, less logical. However, your emotions in this phase are mostly positive, unlike in the premenstrual phase. Being less focused and not wanting to sit on PC or write reports, prioritizing people and care over work and focus, and sometimes also over prioritizing other people's needs over your own. Then comes the pre-menstrual phase, in which you should watch for working too hard and getting exhausted, feeling frustrated and being too critical to others and yourself too, being too emotional and in a negative mood, having unpleasant premenstrual syndrome symptoms, both physical and mental, feeling overwhelmed by your tasks, taking things more personally, being far less optimistic than in the previous phases, tidying and cleaning too much and requiring it of others, especially your family, and often arguing with others. In the menstrual phase, you should watch for being really tired, but not allowing yourself to rest, not wanting to be with people, wanting to be left alone, being unwilling to ask others for help even though you badly need it, pushing yourself to work and deliver even though you feel really tired, pushing yourself to be outgoing, working too hard and disrespecting your body's needs, not giving your rational mind a rest because your thinking is highly intuitive and meditative in this phase. And finally, not allowing yourself to recharge your inner batteries for the whole month. How can you remember what the phases are like even better? By comparing them to seasons and daytimes. The dynamic phase, as I said, is like spring and morning, because in the morning you usually have plenty of energy, as you do in this phase. Your mind is clear as it is in the morning, unless you drank or worked too much last night. You love to be active, in motion, just as you do in spring. It is also the time of new beginnings, as springtime is. You need to sleep less in spring compared to winter and menstrual phase, and you feel full of life and optimism, as we all do in spring, and hopefully in the morning too. The ovulation phase is like summer and noon or afternoon, because you are full of energy, yet you are more passive than in spring, just as you are more passive when the days are hot in summer or after lunch. Summer is the time for romance and lovemaking, just as the ovulation phase is. This is the happy phase of the month, as summer is the happy phase of the year. And in summer, we want to be outside and hang out with people, just as we do in the ovulation phase. The premenstrual phase is like fall and evening, because we collect fruits of our previous work, just as we enjoy harvest in fall. The days are getting darker, and so are our emotions and mood. We eventually get more tired by the end of the phase, just as we do get tired in the evening. We tend to spend more time indoors, just as we do in fall. And last but not least, we love to finish things before our menstrual rest, just as Mother Nature does it before her winter rest. The menstrual phase is like winter and night, because you shall rest in the menstrual phase just as you do at night, in order to replenish for the next day or the whole upcoming cycle. We love to hibernate in the menstrual phase, just as we do in the cold months of winter. Mother Nature rests and regenerates in winter, and so should you in your menstrual phase. We tend to spend most of the time indoors, alone, both in winter and in the bleeding phase of the month. And the phase is quiet and meditative, just as winter or night are. And that's it! You are not unpredictable. You are 4 women in 1. Hack your time management. Make it cyclic time management. Respect your enhanced abilities that each of the 4 phases bring you. Do you like these ideas? Do you want to know more? Stay connected by subscribing at dana-sophie.com. Who is Dana Sofie Šlancarová? I am a writer, teacher, publisher, and an entrepreneur. My passion is to write and teach about the beauty of women's cycles, pragmatic aspects of menstruation, and the incredible benefits of cyclic time management. I am the founder of the Cyklická žena project, the Cyclic Woman project, and an author or co-author of several books on this topic, including Návod na ženy, a manual to women navigating the modern man through the unpredictable world of women, that explains the cyclic time management to both women and men, or recently, Malá velká cyklická dívka Sára, Teenage Sarah Becoming a Cyclic Woman, that is aimed at teenage girls and their mothers. I live in the Czech Republic, but spread the cyclic ideas all around the world. I can help you to get to know your unique cycle and your unique enhanced abilities. Start to utilize them in both your work and personal life. Stop having mood swings or any annoying premenstrual syndrome symptoms. Feel really empowered and feminine. Plan your activities so that you get more results, have more fun, keep your energy high throughout the whole month, are far more productive, efficient, creative, and feel great, and even have more time for you and your family. Work with me and finally hack your time management and become productive, creative, happy, and full of energy the whole month. Contact me at dana-sophie.com.